Welcome, everybody, to Dream Big with Zhanna, inspiring you to reignite, refire, and refuel your life. And today, it is my pleasure to announce the returning guest on the show. It's Hemla, and her last name is Makindula. Did I get it
That's
right?
right. You got it.
Yes, okay, Mike and Dula. So, Hamla was here with us in the first episode. If you guys didn't watch it or didn't catch it for any reason, you can catch it on Facebook page. On this page, Hummingbird Academy Today, or you can go to YouTube. If you go to Zhanna Spitz, Dream Big with Zhanna Hamla, with her name, Hamla's name, you will see it there. So that episode was dedicated to sharing the journey, and that was Hamla's story on how she got to do what she is doing right now. She's an amazing, incredible individual and pro. And for the rest of you who are new to this, let me just give you a little bit from the official bio, if that's okay with you, Hamla. Is it okay?
Oh, absolutely. Thank you.
So, Hemla Magandula is a holistic facilitator or teacher based in Palo Alto, California. Hemla founded Seven Rays Holistic Centers 16 years ago. Her work focuses on one simple statement: awaken the power within you. Her intention is to listen and guide, uniquely blending various therapists to see from the inside out. Her intention is for each person to follow their own compasses and navigate through life. To be able to see within is to know yourself and bring out the best in you. Hamlet overlays her passion for color therapy in all of the modalities she offers. She was born in Durban, South Africa, and moved to California 7 years ago. Her background is as an artist and a teacher. She's a mom to two teenage boys. So this is this is exactly what we're going to explore today. And when I say exactly, I mean color therapy. You have those beautiful, colorful bottles behind you. And as we promised to all our listeners and everybody who is with us right now, or you guys are watching the replay, if you are new to color therapy, Hamla is the person to go to because she's been doing it for years and years and years. And today the intention is um, to bring something valuable through. Like, I'm gonna be the guinea pig, so it's an open session, and you will see how Hamla is working on me. But as you are watching it, see if something resonates with you. Hemla is going to be explaining it all to you. We wanted, with the intention, to focus on career challenges, whether you are plateauing in whatever level of success you've achieved already, or maybe you are in a job you don't like, but you don't have the guts and the courage to change it, or any other types of questions that you might have around career. I'll just pass it on to you, Helma, and say, welcome to the show, and the stage is yours, however you want to lead it. So I'm going to be silent.
Well, thank you very much, Zhanna. I really appreciate the invitation back to do this episode. And thank you for being the guinea pig and letting me work with you. So I just wanted to explain a little bit about how the session works, and also for our listeners to know that this is a very condensed version of what I would normally do. So normally when someone comes in, we spend the first 15 minutes understanding what's going on, what they would like to work with, and in this case, career. And so then from these bottles that you see behind me, I encourage people to choose 5 that appeal to you with your left hand. I do it remotely, as you see, via Skype, like we're doing, via a Zoom, like we're doing now, and it can still be done. And then I talk to you about the choices you've made and what meaning they have and relevancy to what you're experiencing. So although we're focusing on career, other parts might come up, which I can share. Like I say, a normal session takes an hour to an hour and a half. So we certainly don't have that amount of time. So we'll condense and give an overview of how I would do a full consultation with someone, would then result at the end, so that you know how it works from there onward. Does that sound good?
It sounds fantastic. Just one clarifying question. If I pick the color of the bottle that somebody resonates with, is it going to affect, like, the information you're going to give to me? Is it going to be relevant to them?
Say that again.
So let's say I pick green, right?
Right.
So I just point at the bottle,
Mm-hmm.
and the people who are watching, somebody who is watching, would pick the same bottle. The
Right.
information you're going to be giving me, is it going to be relevant to that person too?
Okay, so that's a very good question. So there's a generic meaning to colors, like there's a negative and positive to each color. So I will give that overview so that the audience can feel like they have some connection to it. And then there are very specific things that come up relating to each person individually. So there's two layers to it. The first being the more overview, which I will concentrate on today, so that it can feel as though there might be some relevancy to everybody. And then I will probably go into maybe one or two things that would probably be relevant to you.
To you. Got it. Thank you so much. Yes.
Okay. Thank you for checking on that one.
I
So
can't wait.
go ahead and tell me which ones you like, and I'll pull them down onto the table, and then we'll work from there.
Okay, so I see the very first one. I think it's red, or some kind of shade of red. The first
At the
one at
top.
the top, yes, at the top, and then one, two, three, four. The fourth from the same row. The
This
so
one.
yes,
Uh-huh.
yes. Then I see green, on the second row from the bottom. From the bottom.
Number here.
Yes, this one. And the yellow right next to it. Yellow right next to that. And I want that kind of white on the second row from the top. The third one from the from your, yes, that one. Yes. I love all of them.
Okay, good. So I'm just checking the numbers. So each bottle has a specific number, and therefore a very particular information. So, like I said, we won't have enough time to go into detail on that, but I'll overview it. So, just to clarify, the bottles and the colors you've chosen, this is red, this is blue, this is green, this is yellow, and this should have been orange. But as you see, the bottle is changing color. And that happens quite often. Energetically, we know that color works with frequency and resonation, and resonates to the body, and energetically to whatever's going on within us and within our aura. So often, bottles can lose their color or change color. And so, for example, this one, it has completely lost its color. It should have been blue, and it's now clear. And when that happens, I still leave it, because somebody will come in and choose it in the states it is in now. So we then look at it in the state it's now, as well as what the original state was. So there's the element of orange here that's still a hint of it, but not completely. So this bottle and this bottle also talk about crystal children, or crystal child energy, which you possibly carry. Crystal children are extremely loving, very giving of themselves. They can be prone to allergies, not always, but it can be, they have sensitivities. They're extremely intuitive. They have come to teach how to balance the yin yang, the masculine, feminine energy within each of us. So that's just an overview of crystal children. So there's clearly a draw for you with the green and the orange here that you've chosen. So I'm going to start with this one, since the color's drained out. And you just tell me when I have just a few minutes left, so I can wrap up.
Sure, absolutely.
Okay. So the orange in its pure form, is what the original color would have been to do with the sacral chakra. It's the seat of our self-esteem, our creativity, our sexuality, our sensuality. And if you think about it, if we're not feeling good about ourselves, our creative expression cannot move forward or develop in some way. And then also, if we're not expressing ourselves through our creative ways of being, then that can also impact in our self-esteem. So all of that is tied in, and our sensuality is a huge part of who we are, because that's energy we use to create. And I'm not talking necessarily about just sexual energy, but sensual energy. So that is the meaning of the orange in a nutshell. And there's lots more. There's joy and bliss in it. It also helps deal with shock or trauma that the system might have experienced. In your case, the fact that the orange is releasing from the body or leaving the body, and it's left more of a pale yellow behind, that can indicate that there might be some kind of awakening that you're going through at the moment, around maybe a realization of how you want to move that career forward. It could be that you're needing some extra energy to be able to propel it the way you need it to be propelled. So, and I'm looking at it in context of your other bottles. So therefore, I'm giving you that idea of where it's at. And the reason I'm saying what I'm saying is because you've got the yellow next to it. The yellow is the solar plexus chakra, and it talks about standing in our power and owning that power. It is also then working on the fears and the triggers that cause our fears to become active. And so the yellow next to that tells me that there's some work that you're doing around accessing this creative energy in how you'd like to fuel forward in with your career. And now when I talk about the creative energy, people immediately think, okay, well, I have to learn how to draw and paint, and I can't do that. And creative energy is not about that necessarily. If you have that gift, great. But I believe that every being has some creative energy in them, because that's how they came into being in the first place. They were through creation that we all exist. So I work a lot with helping people understand how to access whatever they believe their creative energy should be. I think for you, you are pretty expressive in that way with your background in music and your love for singing and music. So there's already an expression. But there's something that's shifting, maybe some kind of fear around accessing this that you might be feeling right now. And that could also be why the yellow's here. The green that you put next to that tells me that you have a very expansive heart, and most often do things from your heart space. The gift in that is that it brings a lot of abundance. The abundance meaning of friends, of love, of money, of whatever it is that you believe abundance to be. The green also can indicate then that your boundaries might need to be more clear so that you can access this more clearly. So you've put that in the middle, saying that I'm working on this right now in order for this to become a result. Does that sound?
It sounds very, yes, it sounds so true.
Okay. So the green is also then telling us to let go of guilt and shame around why we didn't do this or why we couldn't finish that, or there's a lot that's going on. And I say that because of the red that you put, and I'm jumping over the blue for a reason. I'll come back to it. The red tells me that you go, and right now your energy levels are really low because you're trying to cope. And when you're in that space, moving forward in career, it doesn't give you all the creative ideas or experiences that you'd like to be able to express what you're needing career-wise. So the message in that, and the blue brings that in, is to slow down and to listen inside and see what those messages are that are coming through for you. The blue is also telling you that not only to slow down, but to maybe sit in a practice of meditation or just sit quietly if that's possible. And that's probably very hard for you to do because
Can I jump in and just
yes, please.
it is just so profound. I mean, I'm laughing and smiling because yesterday in my meditation group, the yogi monk that I meditate with, he asked everybody in a circle, what is the highlight of the previous week? And I said, mine is not external, it's an internal. I just allowed myself to slow down in this hectic world, just gave
That's
myself
wonderful.
permission. And you're telling me exactly what I need to do. So it's like perfect timing.
Well, you are telling me what you're feeling, and I'm just reminding you what you're telling me, which is really what any work is. It's you have the power,
Mhm.
like in the yellow, and I'm not doing anything except explaining to you what I see that your body or your being is reflecting. And so inherently we know these things, but sometimes it's nice to go, oh, that's what I should be doing. Of course, I mean, that's been going in my head. Now someone else is verbalizing it, and okay, it'll make it easier for me to go ahead and do just that.
Mm.
So I guess it's a reminder.
Yeah, yes. So in this case, in the way the bottles are arranged to do this huge leap, like for me, guys, everybody who is watching, for me, it's just taking what's the next step, and I want to do it not just slowly, but exponential growth of what I'm doing, and I have a specific idea in mind. So, what, Hemla, could you please reiterate maybe? So, just to make it a little bit clear, and then for everybody, if it resonates, the colors of the bottles, if they resonate with you, it will be relevant. So, what do I need to do energetically or in any other way to for that to allow for that to happen? Slow
Sure.
down.
So the red is really saying that you need some time out and that you needing to slow down, and just to the blue is reminding you to go within and listen to your own intuition, because it's kind of telling you what to do next. But the blue is also then telling us that the logic is bombarding our intuition, which sits in the combination of these two colors. um, it's saying, well, no, this can't work. That will have to be this way. But your intuition is telling you a different story. So when I'm saying, listen, I'm not talking about listening to what's going on there necessarily, but more what's going on here, which when you combine these two, you get olive green, which is the feminine intuition. And that is the part that comes from within to explain to us what our next step is. So, can you tell me a little bit about where you feeling like you're at a crossroads at, or what it is that you feel like you'd like to grow exponentially, as you said?
Exponentially meaning, in my specific case, it's the TV program that I started, and for me, it's important to spread the message that you love, you are appreciated, you seen, and you matter, and specifically for children. Like started with the little children, and I call it children of all ages, from 0 to 120. So I started the program. I joined the TV network. I started a local TV program. Now I would love to take it to the next level and go to the major TV stations, but specifically to Oprah Network. So that's just the dream. And my question, if like I'm completely blunt and open,
Please.
what is what is the next best logical step that will open the doors?
Okay.
Uh,
So, what is your intuition tell you from what I said? What is it that you have heard when I was kind of giving you the overview? Because sometimes, like I said, the answers lie within you. And I want to know if there's anything that struck you in what we discussed, and if not, then I can go more deeply into it.
everything you say, everything you said makes sense intuitively. What I feel is
Right.
the answer is inside.
Yes.
I just need to keep doing what I'm doing right now, and it's not the time to jump into something like it's not the time to push it. That's what I mean. Like that's what I feel, because just like you said with red, you need to slow down, and that's what I did internally.
Right. Even though that might be
It's
frustrating.
like the reasons and the time. Yes, it's very frustrating because it's just
Well,
it doesn't.
that's the red.
it doesn't feel like me because I usually go, 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 go person, right?
Right.
And it all of a sudden after the summer when I came back, I decided just yesterday was so clear to give myself permission to not to be frustrated about this. It's not the valley, but it's not the peak. So it's kind of it's probably more in between.
In between going.
It's like the slumber period, but I'm enjoying that, and yet this action taker in me
Mhm.
says, "Hey, why you why are you not?" Because I don't know. I clearly don't know the answer right now, and I does it make sense what I'm saying?
Perfectly, perfectly. And the answer comes back into this bottle. And what you said there, you said to me, I normally go, 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 and something in me is telling me to slow down. Am I right? That's what you're saying. And I don't know what the next step is. So that's the crossroad. You're at this fork and you're going, well, do I go left? Do I go right? I'm not sure. And what this is saying is that it's not actually time to take that step. And from this bottle and the way that these two are placed next to each other, it really is a time to slow down and listen inward. If you start doing whatever you feel you need to do to push the TV series ahead, it might be that you burn out. So that's the warning in the red, and the fact that the colors drain from this bottle. It's telling us that um, you've done so many amazing things and achieved so much in this space of time that you need to rest now before you can move forward. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't work on it in some way.
Mm-hmm.
You should, but it shouldn't be on that trajectory. It should be like maybe going up slowly. So the feeling I'm getting from the bottles is that, especially here, that the gut is saying there is a moving forward with the green because it's an abundance of bringing that into your life. Growth is also in the green, rejuvenation. So it's also in the rest that that happens. And you'll find that you'll have more energy, and that's then the red and the positive gives you more energy to move into more productive thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And the more productive thinking then tells you what feels right intuitively within yourself, within your heart. And then that takes you to your action step. And the action step is then opening that power center. And coming back to this one, the orange then would be in its true form, which is then you create something incredible out of it.
Mm.
So, more than anything else, there's a slowing down that's happening. There's a few other elements that come into it. The blue also talks about perhaps the male voice in our head, or it could represent father that can be very autocratic or had been very autocratic. And so that kind of feeling of, well, I have to be a certain way. And that, if it's not necessarily father, represents male energy. And that voice that says, well, in order to achieve, you've got to go, go, go. And there is truth to that. I mean, we can't sit back and do nothing, but it's not necessarily at that crazy speed because we can only do those for short bursts and then our bodies need rest. And energetically, this time in our lives, like autumn or fall going into winter, winter is really a time of resting. Doesn't mean that nobody produces anything, but more slowing down and kind of gathering all the pieces so it can move forward again. This bottle also indicates past life in Atlantis. So, do you want me to go a bit into past lives or?
Past lives. But if you could do just a brief, maybe 1 minute,
Sure.
like
I'll
yeah.
just go over it to for a reason because I believe that a lot of our patterns that we have in this lifetime comes from other lifetimes, and sometimes those patterns uh, need to be made. We need to be made aware of. So either we need to embrace the gift in that pattern, or it could indicate that the pattern needs to be broken. So something about that and what this one means, that the bottle telling us about a past life in Atlantis says that there was times where you created something in that lifetime that was and I'm saying that because you've got the green next to it. That in that lifetime there was something that you created that was huge, that was abundant, that was for the greater good of all. There's a lot of that humanitarian energy that's there, and a part of you is missing that and wants that again. So that's why there's such a need or an urge to move forward at the speed that you are. Um, but in order for that to happen the way that you want it to happen, then there is a slowing down that's needed.
I see. Hamlet, thank you so much. I hope you guys watching us, you got a ton of value, and at least you get the idea of how Hamlet is working with color therapy. I mean, to me, it was incredible just to be on the receiving end. To me, everything you said about each bottle and the succession and the progression and what needs to happen, including the past life piece, it's incredible. And we just talked about the past lives experiences yesterday. it's just
Okay.
it's just amazing in that meditation group. And
This bottle, the way I left to the end to tell you as well, is also known as the Earth Angel bottle. And it talks about you being an Earth Angel.
oh,
And that is part of what you're needing to do. Like, that's why the urgency, because
mm,
you have a lot of work to do in the world.
I don't know if I'm the earth angel, but I do want to create a lot more than I did. And
Well, many of us, well, we all angels in form, right? But there's a connection with the fact that Earth Angels have come to make a difference to the greater good of humankind.
Yeah,
So,
humankind. Yes, and I usually, well, the show is called Dream Big, right?
right?
So it's just lots of big things to accomplish and to create in
Sure.
this lifetime as we can. Just like you're doing so much for the humanity and for everybody and individuals who come to you. So if you guys have questions for Hemla, and if you would like to experience that for yourself, just connect with her. The easiest way to connect with Hemla is going to her website, and it's called Seven Rays Holistic Center, and seven is a number, it's a digit. So seven rays holistic center.com, and you will see all the resources. She recommended a lot of books that could be a huge value for you for your spiritual growth. It's all going to be in the comments here on Facebook, Hummingbird Academy Today, and also on YouTube. So anyway, it's so easy nowadays to connect with people. Hamla, I can't thank you enough for this open session. And stay tuned, guys, because next time we're going to invite Hamla back. And next time it's going to be around color therapy open session with somebody else. We're going to have a surprise guest on the show, and it's all going to be around relationships, whether that's the personal relationship or the relationship between you or any other type. So stay tuned. And Hemla, thank you so very much for being on the
Thank
show.
you.
And thank you for bringing this beautiful clarity to me.
Well, you're very welcome.
Thank you, thank you. And you guys stay with us. You're watching Dream Big with Zhanna, inspiring you to reignite, refire, and refuel your life and dream and keep dreaming big. We'll see you soon.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.